And to tell us more, I'm joined by Takalani Lukhaimane of the FSCA. Good evening, Takalani. So how did so much money accumulate, and over what period of time did it amass?
Good evening, Sally, and thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to address this issue on this platform. This unclaimed benefits accumulated over many, many years, so for as long as the fund has been in existence, and our act started in 1956, so you can imagine it's been over decades that these amounts of monies have been accumulating in some funds. And hence we're sitting with this issue of, at this point, almost 52 billion worth of unclaimed benefits in our funds. It's been a combination of issues that have made this issue continue in terms of the unclaimed benefits rising. So you can imagine with migrant labor over the years, when mining was a big part of our economy, most of our sectors, our industrial sectors, when people would get fired, they would just leave and not claim their money. So our unclaimed benefits unfortunately grew because people did not claim their benefits.
Did you just say there's 52 billion available?
Yes, there is 52 billion. As at our information that we get from the financial statements that funds submit to our offices, as at the financial year end of 2018, we have got approximately 52 billion in unclaimed benefits.
Now, we're going to go into the process to check first, but I'm just wondering if this goes back to as early as the 50s. What if you have a situation where your mum or dad or even grandparents have died? Would you, as an heir, be able to claim that money?
Yes, you would. And that is part of the awareness campaigns that we're driving, is that we've got a lot of people that actually come forward and say, I would like to claim on behalf of my father. I know that he came to work, say, for instance, in Johannesburg in the 80s, and he never claimed his money when he came home, or, he unfortunately passed away while he was working at a particular mine or a particular factory, and I'd like to check whether he's got a benefit. And those are claims that we facilitate as well, so their beneficiaries are very entitled to those monies as well.
Does it happen often that someone is not aware that they themselves have a benefit that's owing to them?
It does happen. So part of the unclaimed benefits that are that form this 52 billion is benefits that would have accumulated from or been entitled to someone through what we call surplus. So a fund at a particular time had excess assets, and it had to pay its rightful owner, but had already paid a portion of monies to that person. So I could legitimately leave, say for my example, I could legitimately leave the Financial Sector Conduct Authority and have taken some of my money. But at a later stage, whether it was interest or it was not all my contributions that were paid to me, I become entitled to other monies. And so I'm not necessarily, I don't believe that I form part of these unclaimed benefits, because according to me, I got paid all of my monies. But there would be a category of people that are due some money. Not a large portion, but about 20% of the assets that we're sitting with are actually monies that are below 100 Rand, between 300 Rand and 100 Rand, because it's a portion of interest that wasn't paid to you, bank interest that wasn't paid to you for a day or two.
Right, so it's really important to actually just check. Now, I know that you're saying we shouldn't use tracing agents, we should go to your database, which I presume is on the FSCA website. Just tell me how the process works on your database and what you need to do to show that the money is yours. What sort of documentation do you need? What is the process?
So we've got various ways in which people can make inquiries. One is the database that you would submit an electronic inquiry. So you would complete basically a form online. And the form will require you to provide basic information. Your personal information is protected. You would submit your employer at the time, and the system will automatically check, because we then collected information from all the retirement funds in the industry, and we update that information quarterly as well. So the system will automatically check whether there is a benefit potentially payable to you, because the monies actually don't sit with the FSCA. They sit with the retirement funds to which the person used to belong. So what we are doing is basically facilitating a person getting in contact with their administrator or the fund itself in order to make payment. So what you would get once you've completed the form is a result that would say you have got a possible match. You would then take that, the administrator would either contact you or you can contact the administrator to validate that that is actually your payment. So you can imagine the last thing we want to do is open it up and show people's personal information and show ID numbers and all of that. So it's important to have a confidential verification process that would at least allow the fund to directly communicate with the person whose benefit is due in order to make payment. People can also complete physical forms, either at our offices or they can download a form online. Before COVID, and we had actually planned to have roadshows where we would go visit communities and help them complete forms. We had done that in the previous 2 financial years, where we had campaigns that were directed at all provinces where we assisted people to complete forms. We've also got an SMS system that people can use, so they can just SMS their ID. The system will automatically check whether there is a possible match for them.
Give us that number, that SMS quickly. Just give us that SMS number.
The SMS, it's 30913. That is the SMS number.
All right.
That they can SMS their ID, and the website is www.fsca.co.za. Otherwise, they can email an inquiry to pension.queries@fsca.co.za.
So there's no excuse for not getting in touch. I know exactly what I'm going to do when I get home tonight. Thank you so much for your time this evening. That is Takalani Lukhaimane of the FSCA. 52 billion rand in unclaimed pensions. It's absolutely worth your while to send an SMS, 30913, or to go to the fsca.co.za website, check out, see. You never know, you might have a lucky surprise.